Chapter 1. The Mysterious Arrival Over 1,000 Words. The full moon faintly illuminated the deserted street, revealing the silhouette of the Eldoria Hotel, imposing and decrepit. Its windows were shattered, and the once white paint was peeling, exposing the dark red brick underneath. No sound except the cold wind breaking dry branches interrupted the silence of the night. Lucas, a young journalist passionate about mystery stories, drove slowly toward the hotel, his heart racing. He had heard rumors of unexplained disappearances and supernatural manifestations at the location. Some locals claimed shadowy figures wandered the corridors. Others said the building was cursed. But for Lucas, all of this was perfect material for his article. Parking the car in front of the entrance, he noticed the main door was slightly ajar, creaking softly in the wind. A shiver ran down his spine. He took a deep breath, smelling the mix of rust and old wood in the night air. Each step toward the entrance echoed through the empty lobby, which still held a broken chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Inside, the darkness was almost total, except for a few beams of light filtering through the broken windows. Lucas turned on his flashlight, and the shadows danced on the walls. Every corner seemed to hide something or someone. As he explored, he found an old portrait hanging crookedly, depicting the hotel's founder in formal attire. His eyes somehow seemed to follow Lucas as he moved. A chill ran through his hands, and he wondered if the rumors might be true. Suddenly, a soft whisper echoed down the corridor. Lucas froze. "Who's there?" His voice trembled. No response, only absolute silence and the creaking of the old building. He continued, increasingly aware that something was watching him. At the ancient elevator, Lucas noticed that the buttons were covered in dust, except for one, the button for the 6th floor, which seemed to have been pressed recently. Curious and fearful, he opened the elevator door and stepped inside. The air was icy, as if the cold were absorbed directly from the walls. Pressing the button, the elevator descended with a groan that sounded like distant screams. In the 6th floor corridor, crooked paintings and doors with worn plaques created a disconcerting labyrinth. A smell of mold and something vaguely sweet filled the air. Lucas felt that each step increased his anxiety, and yet something pulled him forward, a mixture of curiosity and fascination with the unknown. Approaching room 666, a strange sensation overtook him. The door was ajar, and inside, shadows moved as if alive. He took a deep breath and entered, illuminating the space with his flashlight. The room was empty except for an old bed, clothes scattered around, and a large mirror, reflecting something that should not exist. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind him. Lucas tried to open it, but it was locked. The flashlight flickered, and he realized he was no longer alone. A female whisper echoed, "You shouldn't be here." Lucas spun around, but no one was visible. The feeling of being watched became overwhelming. He tried to stay calm, but fear began to take over. Every object in the room seemed to have its own story, an invisible presence studying him. The whispers became louder, forming incomprehensible words, and the temperature dropped drastically. From that moment, Lucas realized that the hotel was not just an abandoned building. It was a living organism, absorbing fears and turning them into reality. Every shadow seemed conscious, and every step could lead him closer to a fate from which there might be no return. The chapter ends with Lucas pressed against the wall of room 666, trying to control his breathing. Silence becomes absolute, yet he senses something or someone is approaching. A shiver runs down his spine, and he knows this is only the first night of a nightmare that will last far longer than he ever imagined.